over 150 years, the Kentucky Derby has stood as the most enduring tradition in American sports. And in our time, one stallion is reshaping its legacy. Back-to-back Derby winners. His first son had stud siring another. A dynasty in motion. A motion that again has forward momentum toward Louisville, with another elite crop of 3-year-olds bearing his genes. Spendthrift Farm, home of Into Mischief.
Hello everybody, Mike Welch coming to you one last time from Churchill Downs with our final Daily Racing Form Kentucky Derby Workout Report, brought to you by Spendthrift Farm, who has the home of the 6-time reigning general champion sire Into Mischief, who will have 2 starters in this year's Derby, Citizen Bull and Sovereignty. Well, the major work is all done. Today was the final major training session, regular training session for the Derby Oaks horses. So the track will be open Friday morning and Saturday morning or early for those that choose to go out there. The Derby horses will all train on Friday for sure. I'm going to take a rundown now of the Derby field in order of post position and give you some of my final impressions and thoughts about each horse from what I've seen here over the last 10, 12 days during training hours. Going to start with Citizen Bull in the 1 post, and that is the key for Citizen Bull. The horse worked as well as just about as well as anybody here. He's looked good since he arrived from Santa Anita, but he's got a formidable task trying to become the first horse to win the Derby from post position 1 since 1986. The Aquos is next. This horse is the 2 works I saw in Florida before I came here, just okay. He's not a brilliant workhorse by any means, and I think when the smoke clears, it may turn out he's a better 1-turn horse than a 2-turn horse, but he should be part of that early pace scenario. Final Gambit, the 1 horse Brad Cox does have left in the Derby following the unfortunate loss of Tappan Street due to injury. And Final Gambit, a synthetic specialist, but I like the transition he seems to have made over to the dirt. I thought his works are good on it, his gallops are strong. This horse has the right running style too. I think he can come running late and maybe outrun his odds, get a piece of this one with a clean trip. Rodriguez, like stablemate Citizen Bull, has looked good training here. Unfortunately, he too is a speed horse in a field loaded with plenty of pace, and it's not likely he's going to get the same cushy pace setup that he got when he won the Wood about a month ago. American Promise, another long shot in here. He qualified by winning the Virginia Derby pretty easily. Didn't love the work, the tape of the work I saw at Oaklawn, that 7-furlong gate work coming out of there. But he's trained well enough here. His gallops look okay, but I just think he's taken too big a step up to be a factor in this lineup. The 2 Japanese horses, Admire Daytona and Luxor Cafe, they had their only 2 real Derby breezes on Tuesday. They were maintenance and design. It's a little hard from the relative, not inactivity, but a relative serious training that they've done here to get a real line on what to expect of them. Luxor Cafe on paper seems to be the better of the 2, the more fancied of the 2, and he was just fine here in that maintenance breeze, but not sure what to expect of him and how he classes up against the U.S. horses on Saturday. Now we come to journalism, the clear-cut favorite, and to me, from what I've seen, strictly the horse to beat. Comes in with the best resume, and he has checked all the boxes since he's been here. His work was terrific. That huge gallop out, he didn't pull up till he got down to the half-mile pole at the end of that work. He's come out of that work every single day, eye-catching in his gallops. He just might be on another level than these. The key for him is obviously getting a clean trip through the 20-horse field. Burnham Square, also huge final work, maybe arguably the best of them all. This is a horse that's improved every single start from a biospeed figure standpoint. His race in the Bluegrass, another move forward, and he gives every impression he's come out of that race sitting on a similar effort here on Saturday. Another horse whose running style, look, this horse won the Holy Bull coming from behind on the Gulfstream Park racetrack. This is not flat of that kind of a running style, and with the pace scenario we expect, Burnham Square should also get a good, nice late run in here. Grande, flying a little bit under the radar, especially considering the connections trainer Todd Pletcher, because he had his final work over at Keeneland. I got to see him gallop since he's arrived here. His gallop seemed fine. This is a horse lightly raced, but improving. And arguably, if you watch the replay of his Wood Memorial, you can make a case he was the best horse that day, except for a unlucky trip. Flying Mohawk, another horse stepping way up in class here, but he's looked fine in the mornings. His works were good, and he shows a good energy level, but class-wise. He is going to race with blinkers off as well. Easter Avenue, another horse who's looked terrific. We talked about him before. He was the star in the morning before the Breeders' Cup. Walked out of the gate, was over from there, tailed off after that, but he's cycling back to good form now. I love the way every day that he looks out there too. I put him in the same class at the top of my list with Journalism and Sovereignty for a morning all-stars here. The problem, East Avenue, he's a speed horse again in a field loaded with speed, and jockey Manning Franco is going to probably have to figure out a way to keep from getting involved in any kind of a suicidal early pace duel. Publisher and Tistastic, the Steve Asmussen hopefuls here in posts 13 and 14. We talked about their last serious Derby work in company together. Publisher much the best. Tistastic struggling to keep up, even though he was ridden as hard as can be by jockey Joel Rosario. Maybe he's just not a good workhorse. I had never seen him work before that. But Publisher really impressed me. He went strong. He did it easily. He galloped out well. Obviously, the blinkers have helped him. He's a maiden in this coming into the race. He's going to be a huge price in that regard. But I think he could be a little bit of a sneaky horse coming on late to get at least a piece of those trifectas and superfectas. Render Judgment, originally trainer Ken McPeak was against running him in here, decided to put him in. His last Derby work was fine. I just think anything he's shown to date this year, hard to make a case for him coming in against this Derby field. Coal Battle, he's been ridden hard in the mornings in his workouts. Now he missed 2 days of training after his last work on Monday. He had 2 walk days. Then this morning, from what I'm told, I did not see him during the regular training session. He came out without his Derby towel and just jogged. So that's 2 walk days, a jog day. So a little suspicious of what's going on there. But even at his best, I think Coal Battle was up against it here too. Sandman's going to be one of the favorites. Can't knock anything he's done here in the mornings during training since coming out of the Arkansas Derby. His 2 works have been more of the maintenance variety, not quite as strong or as eye-catching as what we've seen from some of the other contenders I've talked about, but can't knock him, and he's another horse that's going to benefit from the right pace scenario. Sovereignty, I love what I've seen from him since he's been here in Florida. Not the greatest workhorse, and he still ran huge in the Fountain of Youth at Florida Derby, but he's turned that all around since he's got here. His works here have been excellent, and since he came out of that last work last Sunday, every single day, he's looked as good as anybody, including Journalism. I think they were the number 1 and number 2 morning stars here this past week. I looked for a huge effort from Sovereignty. Chunk of Gold, the one work I saw of his was on tape from Turfway Park. It was a good one, but again, another horse, tough post position and big jump up in class. Owen Almighty did not train this morning. I'm not sure what his situation is. I take that as not a positive sign. Trainer Brian Lynch really wasn't pointing for this race originally anyway, and if he does go, he's going to be another one part of that early pace mix. And Baeza, he is looking for 1 scratch still as of the time we film this to get into the race. He might get it. He will be a factor if he gets in, even though he will break from the extreme outside if he runs back to that Santa Anita Derby race 1 second behind Journalism. His 1 work here was fine. It was a maintenance work, but he looked good doing it. Well, that's a wrap. That's a look at the entire field. Now we just have to wait it out for another couple of days. But I want to thank y'all for tuning in here. I also, big thanks to my camera person and producer, Barbara Livingston, without whom, believe me, these videos would not have taken place. So I hope you enjoy them. I hope you take away something that will help you in your betting for this year's Derby. I'll see you again about a month from now. Hopefully all goes well with our pre-Belmont Stakes report at Saratoga. So for the best coverage, though, right now for Kentucky Derby, Kentucky Oaks 2025, keep it right here at DRF.com.